All right, let's get right into it. We're all searching for it, right? That one magic key, that secret that'll finally make change stick. Well, today, we're digging into a huge idea from the Sovereign Blueprint that says it all comes down to just one single rule. One rule to change your life forever.
But, let's be real for a second. Why is this stuff so hard? You know the feeling. You get all fired up about a new goal, you're excited, you're motivated, and then, a few weeks later? Poof, right back to square one. It's this super frustrating loop, and pretty much all of us have been there. And what does everyone always tell you? Just try harder, or you need more willpower, right? It's this whole idea that you're supposed to just brute force your way through everything with sheer grit. Or the other classic one is, find more motivation. So you watch another video, you read another book, you try to get all hyped up. But motivation, it's like a sugar rush, isn't it? It feels great for a minute, and then it's gone. Trying to rely on that is, it's like trying to build a house on sand. It's just not going to work long term. Okay, but here's where things get interesting. What if that whole approach, adding more of everything, more effort, more willpower, more hype, is just wrong? What if the real answer isn't about adding anything at all, but about following one single powerful rule? So if just try harder is off the table, then what's left? Let's get to it. Here is the rule that really changes the whole game. So according to the Sovereign Blueprint, the one rule, the single most powerful, most fundamental rule for changing pretty much any part of your life is this.
Your life is your territory. You set the rules. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not a nice little suggestion. That is a declaration. It's a massive power shift. It takes the power from everything out there and puts it right back here with you. It's all about you claiming your authority.
And look, this is way more than just a cool-sounding quote. This rule is built on a really deep, life-changing principle, and that principle is called personal sovereignty. So what is personal sovereignty? Well, it's really about recognizing that you, and only you, are the CEO of your life. You are the ultimate authority. It means you have the power and, frankly, the right to be in charge of your own mind, your time, your energy, and you don't need to ask anyone else for permission to do it. Now, to actually live this way, it takes a pretty big shift in how you think. You've got to move from what we could call a default mindset, which is where most of us hang out, over to a sovereign mindset. And the default is common because it feels safer, right? It's easier to just react to things. But to make a real change, you have to choose this new way of thinking. So let's break down what that actually looks like. All right, so look at this. On one side, you've got the default mindset. This is the person who's always looking for someone else to say it's okay. They're seeking external permission. But the sovereign mindset? Nah, they give themselves permission. Then you've got reacting versus creating. The default mindset just reacts to whatever life throws at it, constantly getting pushed around. The sovereign mindset, though, goes on offense. It creates the circumstances it wants. And this last one, this is a big one. The default mindset loves to blame. It's the traffic's fault, my boss's fault, my past's fault. But the sovereign mindset, it takes 100% ownership. No excuses, period.
Okay, so understanding the idea is awesome, but that's just step one, right? The real question is, how do we actually do this? How do we put it into action? Well, that's what's next. We're going to build your personal blueprint.
And I know this whole thing might sound like some huge, abstract philosophical concept, but the Sovereign Blueprint actually breaks it down into a super simple 3-step plan that you can literally start using today. It turns this big idea into a real, practical tool. Okay, 3 steps. Step 1, identify your territory. This just means getting super clear about what you actually have control over, things like your own actions, your focus, your attention. Step 2, set your law. This is where you decide on your non-negotiables. What are the core rules you live by? It's like your personal constitution. And finally, step 3, enforce your borders. And this is huge. It's all about protecting your time and energy by getting really, really good at saying no. And the most important part of all this? You don't have to wait for some perfect time to get started. You can start practicing this stuff in small, totally doable ways, like right now, today. Okay, for example, at work, enforcing a border could be as simple as saying, I can't take that on right now, instead of just saying yes to everything. In your relationships, setting your law could mean actually telling your partner what you need, instead of just dropping hints and hoping they're a mind reader. And with your health, claiming your territory might be committing to one non-negotiable thing, like a 15-minute walk every single day, and then treating that appointment with yourself as seriously as you treat a meeting with your boss. And you know what's cool? When you start taking these little steps over and over, something really profound starts to shift. You slowly stop living life on default mode and you start living it by design. You actually start to become the sovereign of your own life.
And just to be super clear, this has nothing to do with being a control freak or trying to boss other people around. It's actually the opposite. It is about having complete and total authority over yourself.
That's the real transformation right there. You stop being just a character in your own story, one who's just reacting to all the plot twists. Instead, you pick up the pen. You become the author. You get to decide what happens in the very next chapter.
So, let's land the plane with this. All this power we're talking about, it isn't something you need to go find. It's already in you. The real question isn't if you're allowed to set the rules for your own life. The only question is, when are you going to decide to? Your life is your territory. So, where are you going to plant your flag first? What's the first small piece of ground you're going to claim as yours?